It is 12:23 on this Tuesday afternoon, and boy, is it windy outside, but it is beautiful. When you look outside, courtesy of Sky 5, you see tons of blue sky out there, not a cloud out there in the sky today. Traffic is moving nice and smoothly, but let me tell you, those trees are a good indicator that the wind is whipping around out there. Let's go back to the map. I'll show you exactly what they're dealing with in McAllen at this hour, since that's where that shot was from. Out of the southeast, the winds are at 22 miles per hour, gusting near 31 miles per hour, but we have stronger gusts in the lower valley and closer to the coast. Look at Brownsville, currently gusting at 41 miles per hour. Port Isabel, just behind that, near 37 mile per hour wind gusts. Definitely a very warm and windy afternoon. It's going to continue to be that way. I mean, when you look at the Future Track model, this particular model keeps the winds elevated at least through about 5 o'clock this evening and going down slightly from there. So we do have the wind advisory in place for all counties but Star this afternoon, and it's in place through 5 o'clock. Thereafter that's when we'll start to see them die down a little bit. Now, temperatures are warming up. We're right around 85 degrees in Edinburgh. That's the hot spot right now. Everywhere else between 82 and 83. And we're going to continue to warm up this afternoon to the lower 90s across much of the valley. It looks like Brownsville, you'll stay in the upper 80s, and on the island we'll stay in the low 80s, but it is definitely going to be a hot one. Looking across Texas, and we're the warmest spot, that's for sure. The next one closest to us would be Laredo or Corpus, down here in this orange area. In the yellow area, we're in the 60s and 70s. Up in the Panhandle today, in the upper 50s with 58 in Amarillo. Cool spot this afternoon is in El Paso, and it's right around 50 degrees there this afternoon. So it just depends on where you're at in the state of Texas, depending on what kind of weather that you're going to see. But here's the setup. When you kind of zoom out and look at it, we do have that cold front that is starting to enter the state. Now behind that, we are going to see some cooler weather arrive, but I'll show that in a second. Zooming out and looking at the big picture, here is that powerful nor'easter continuing to make its way up to the New England states, bringing lots of heavy snow and rain and just really nasty travel conditions in those areas. But behind me along the Pacific coast, you see that things are starting to die down a little bit. So all that rain that stretched from Southern California all the way up into the Pacific Northwest is now kind of slacked off a little bit, and it looks like over the next day or so it'll start to clear out to give them a little bit of relief, but lots of flooding issues there. Meanwhile, back in deep South Texas, this is what we're going to experience. Okay, this afternoon we're warming up, upper 80s, even the low 90s are expected. This particular model has been running a little bit cooler by day and a little bit warmer by night. So as we look at Future Track again, and we go to tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock, I think we're going to be right around this number here in the mid to lower 60s. We'll have the low 60s overnight. Clouds are going to thicken up a little bit, and then tomorrow morning the cold front's going to roll through, but it's going to do it without rain. Okay, so this is going to be a dry frontal passage, but when you look at the temperatures by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we're in the upper 70s. So a big time difference when you compare 90s to 70s. So we will get a little bit of relief from this heat that we're experiencing today. Thursday night will cool down, and then by the time we get into Thursday actually Wednesday night going into Thursday rather, Thursday will be spent in the lower 70s, but then we have more changes on the way as we get closer to the weekend. Notice we're still in the low 70s, but by the time the weekend rolls around, that's where we start to see some rain and some cloud cover with a coastal disturbance that'll kind of set up, and that will give us our rain chances right around 40% or so. So off and on light rain. Temperature trend will definitely go down. We'll be right around 63 on Saturday and 65 by Sunday, maybe getting a little peak or two of some sunshine. But again, the wind advisory today for Hidalgo, Willacy, and Cameron County through 5 o'clock. It does not include Starr County. However, you still will see those breezy winds for much of the day. We have a small craft advisory in place for the Bay and the Gulf through later on this evening, so just please be careful. It's really making for hazardous conditions out there for smaller vessels. Overnight tonight, 63 degrees, 78 tomorrow, 73 by Thursday. Here it goes. We're going to get a little bit cooler as we roll into the weekend. Don't forget to have the umbrellas in hand. By Friday night going into the weekend, that's where we start to bump up your rain chances from 20% Friday night, going up to maybe 30 and even 40% through the weekend, dropping it back down to 20% with just a shower possible on Monday. High temperatures will stay right around 66 degrees to start next week. So get ready. Those changes are on the way. We just have to deal with the heat and the windy conditions for this afternoon. That's your updated First Warn 5 forecast. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather after these messages.